Um, I think a lot of people are coming to the open house to find out about the Buddhist word of the title, Dharma Realm Buddhist. You want to give 2 minutes on how the education for the whole person then prepares you for Buddhist practice and what's available at DRBU?
I could say a little bit. The undergraduate program has different strands. It has an Indian strand, Chinese strand, a Western strand, has a science strand, mathematics, and a number of others that are classical liberal arts. The Buddhist MA is only focused on classical Buddhist texts. You'll be reading texts in translation, but also with language support from Sanskrit and Chinese, and increasingly Pali now being added so that you can read the text directly for yourselves, get to those original teachings, and then start thinking about them. But more than just thinking about them, there's a laboratory aspect to the program there, which has to do with the blending of study and practice, of contemplative practice along with rigorous textual study. This goes back to an idea from the great Chentai master Zhi, who said, basically, if you practice, but you don't study, it's blind. And if you study but don't practice, it's sterile. Study and practice are like the two wings of a bird. Both are needed for the bird to take flight, and both in the Buddhist sense are necessary for deep understanding and transformation. So the Buddhist side of this really has the blending of those two, essentially a 2-year program where you're reading primary text, you're learning how to read primary text, you're deeply engaged in immersive contemplative exercises, and trying to integrate this all into a holistic experience of the Dharma, in a sense, the way it was meant to be taught, the way it was meant to be transmitted in a living, engaged, interactive tradition of study and practice. So I think that's more than enough for a sample.